phone with me because my iPad is almost dead. Hi, everybody. Okay. You have me like pondering these pants.
My pants?
Well, they're what do you guys call the pants that you use if you're in ankle-high water digging clams? We get nervous because the thing is like...
You get nervous.
Well, we say things because we've always heard them. Hey, Jude! Do you like the new one, Jude? We did it earlier. Jude. Do you, because we always say something, then someone will say that we're ignorant. So, but what do you call pants that are short enough
Gotta get water.
that you, like, go ankle high? Hey, Clancy. Hello, Wax Boss. See, we're seeing some of our early risers that are normally, I like to see that. The ones that usually are in bed, much like we are early. We usually make it to the end of the stream and then we go to bed. But I'm always convinced it's like politically incorrect. Pedal pushers, okay. Is that what you said?
Wow.
Is clam diggers, is clam diggers, is that like an okay term? I mean, I didn't Google it or like Urban Dictionary it, but is it like a hey, Sin? I don't know. You tell me if it's like... I can drink it. You don't think I won't drink my iced... Okay, look. Sean, we're going to show what Sean... And let me just tell you, I love Sean to death. He wore these... Hey, Lucy. He wore these today out to...
Can they see them?
Hold on, I'll turn it. Hold on. He wore these out and about. He turned his sweatpants into capris. And there's no shame in his game. He was like, I'm wearing them. I thought it was so adorable.
But you called them.
I called them. Well, the first ones he put on were, hey, Yorkshire. I was like, I know Yorkshire will be able to stop by. Yorkshire, I'm trying to find a royal blue fascinator for this thing I've got going on Friday. And, you know, the ones on Amazon, I just can't trust a $15 one. It might look crazy. So, but I have to know the etiquette. Like there's some that are during the day that you wear, some that are in the evening. I want one of those like headband ones like Princess Charlotte, Kate wear. They're kind of like oversized headbands that they wear.
You're going to have to use my phone, aren't you?
I am. I would, but that's what I want to wear with my dress, right? Yes. Sean has got his outfit from his dad. They have the same arm length and stuff like that. So you guys, I'm gonna show you this couple things that Paula sent that are hilarious.
Look, that's Tasha's grandma.
Oh, from that one that you were talking about?
And there was people in the comments that like Tasha Mack.
I know.
I think she's hilarious. Look at the views. I mean, people watch her.
That's unbelievable. I'll show those in a second. I wanted to show something because I'm going to be wearing them this Friday to this event. Do y'all remember, Karen got this when we got married, and I keep them in here and I wear them to events, like she was daughter's wedding, but they're pearls that she got when me and Sean got married, and I'm going to wear them this Friday. I only bring them out for those occasions. And then
guys, I'm just catching up real quick.
Paula watches.
I mean, it's 3 o'clock.
Sometimes she's not always able to chat, but she watches us, and she had this sent to me. I think that it's adorable, and if you know our sense of humor, you totally get it. But this is, look, I don't want y'all to see my broken. This is it right here.
Your broken nail. You're gonna have to get another nail.
Oh, I'm gonna fix them. But that one, hey Kay. And then this says the same thing. And I'm going to put it on the same key ring that Sean has the I fucking love you. I love fucking you thing that, I'm going to put it on the same one because they're both.
One more time.
No, you always try to make me talk dirty.
One of the reasons
There's another thing too.
what happens is at the end of these live streams, I change the name just according to what we talked about and how it went. I'll change the name. Because I'm not into like clickbait, to get people. Well, we kind of are, but really not. And I'm going to change the name of this stream to it is 8:30 in London.
Was it London?
Well, but really it's only 8 because when we asked for, if it was okay, if y'all wanted to see some live streams earlier in the day, since I'm available, people from Europe.
You're such a troll.
People from London are like, yes, because when you guys go live at 8:30 at night, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm not. I'm just not on one as much as I am at night.
I love it.
But no,
I
you see who's in the chat. There are people in the chat, like Yorkshire is in the chat. That's normally not a time for her.
When we scheduled the live, didn't you hear me go, the British people like Tracy will be able to be here.
Yes.
We were having a laugh on old times. We were riding down back roads. Well, it's a back road, but it's the way home. Laughing about old things that must have been on the first channel, the first TT channel. Hey, Maxine. Because that channel, when she deleted it, all of the videos were gone. But some of the classic ones that were on the video, it doesn't even matter which ones. But we were giving each other, he was like, oh, no, that wasn't on. I was like, oh, it was. And he goes, when did that happen?
When you lived it and you didn't watch it, but you lived it, to see clips of that are like, oh my God, I could review some of the old streams. Could review some of my old streams that are still here and just go, oh my friggin' good gracious God, Lord in heaven.
Yeah, one of them was tell all these people that you don't like BJ's. That was one of the classic ones that people remember.
And for me, the context for me is I'm being woken up. Anyway.
That was a classic. And somehow everyone managed to see it. And
everyone
it was
did.
Pretty late at night.
When we first came out together.
Oh, good, Bluebird. I'm glad. Go ahead.
When we first came out together, right, as being a couple streams we were on Katie's stream. We were on, and then we were also on Sunshine Sally. And the people in the chat brought that up it was like a topic. And you had to remind me, it was this.
I was like, I know what she's talking about.
Yeah.
This is, I like day streams after hubby gets home from work. I spend time with him. This is the sin with an S.
Yes.
And the other sin is welcome too.
Yep.
But haven't seen her. Hey, Tinger Soil, one of my besties gave me a gift too with that shit. Is it not adorable? And it says right in the kidney too, which is hilarious because that's on all the crime shows. Hand me this thing down. I can't light it up right now because I don't have the right kind of, it would turn this light off. Well, I guess we could temporarily turn this light off. Paula sent this to my bestie. If I could give you one thing in life, I would give you the ability to see yourself through my eyes. Only then would you realize how special you are to me. A truly good friend. It's hard to find, difficult to leave, and impossible to replace. You are important. Thank you for being such an inspiration. Love, the one who needs you till the end. You are one of those people who make my life better just by being in it.
Yay.
Fucking awesome. And you know what? Touche. Absolutely.
There is no reason in the world, and this is what I said when people say, oh, I couldn't make your live or I'm not in your live or whatever. You're not required to make a live stream at all. We all have our own lives.
Yeah. And some people really do get self-conscious talking in live streams for whatever reason. And I totally get that. Sean gets a kick. I don't do it as much as I used to, but Sean would get a kick because I'd be like, pretty sure these people hate me. And he was like, okay, talk. And I'd be like, hey. And it would either go well or they'd be like, what the hell are you doing in here? And it's like, oh, do you need me to go?
Well, like when we would go into other live streams, or when I would get something that said, oh my God, I can't believe that what they said about you, Sean. And it's like, oh, do you want to know? And I'm like, okay. And then they say it and I'm like, man, they love me.
Everybody loves you, Sean.
Why are you talking about like what you're talking about? You must love me.
Absolutely. And there's a lot of people that at the evening times, depending what time zone they're on, it's family time. Loretta's hubby, evening times, and his days off, it's whatever. Karen, her priority is dinner, planting, jarring,
Prepping,
chicken tending.
getting ready for Armageddon.
You know what those? That's hey Gigi, that's not even like There's someone in our neighborhood who I was joking that before Tractor Supply quit selling the injectable penicillin, they had it for animals, for ranchers and stuff to use it, and there was no prescription required. It's changed now. After all these years, it's changed. But I got one of them before it changed. So I was telling this neighbor, I have like a jumbo size thing of penicillin, and she goes, "That's perfect." And she goes into that she's one of those preppers that she thinks the end is coming. Hey Pebs. And
Hey Pebs.
So she was, saying that's good. She was like, solar panels are important too. And I was like, okay.
They are.
I have penicillin. That's the best I can do.
That's our contribution. So if the end of the world is nigh and we all decide to meet it would probably be in Oregon because that's where Karen is, right? And she's got the compound going on. Mandy and I would show up. They're like, "What good deal? Penicillin? We have penicillin."
She's in Washington.
Oh, Washington. Well, the West Coast. The West Coast.
Yeah. But how many of you are like, hey Lizzie? How many of you are? Like preppers.
Well, Mandy and I would
not even like legit preppers, but how many of you have the buckets of sustainable food and things like that? They say that's important to keep.
I would like, and once in my life, because that's something that you can watch on YouTube. You can watch these preppers. They won't tell you where their bunker is, but they will, start live streaming from wherever their bunker is. And it is amazing. To prep for something like the non-perishable food that they come in like 5-gallon, you can get them in 5-gallon jugs. And if you were to just take an inventory on what's in that bunker, they have an easy $200,000 worth of stuff in the bunker. When you're talking about food, ammunition.
Do you
remember things like that.
When that thing got launched? It was right about, maybe it was after 9/11, but I don't think it was quite into the Iraq war times, when something got released that people needed to get plastic sheeting and duct tape and food to seal their houses up because there was going to be some
like a chemical attack or something like that.
And it really it was almost like one of those War of the Worlds things. My mom went and got so much plastic sheeting and duct tape that she's still using it. Like you can like.
So put that in perspective. 9/11 was 23 years ago. I think one of the good things, the silver linings of being during that time when it was.
Just the cockatiels. They're okay.
I was a soldier. I was I was on active duty during 9/11. Obviously, I've been to Iraq, so I wasn't really into or listening to what was going on in the news. That wasn't something that I was out doing the literal prepping, which was to prep the military and to be ready to do whatever they wanted us to do.
Like living off the grid.
Yeah. I was in Iraq. The couple of things that happened, I think it was the 2003 year that I was in Iraq. That was the Michael Jackson when that case came up against him with the kids and everything. And the other thing that happened was Kobe Bryant cheating. Remember, he cheated on his wife, and if you guys remember that, those happened during the first year of the Iraq War. I was over in Iraq, and I wasn't watching mainstream news. In 2003, they did not have the internet cafes that they developed, so we were just kind of out there. Our cell phones didn't work. So when the people would walk up to us and ask us, what do you think? I had no idea. We were cut off from mainstream news. And they asked us about the Michael Jackson thing. We had no idea.
That's incredible.
There's places that people remember, like say the O.J. Simpson trial, or for those of y'all that live overseas, something that happened in y'all's history. Princess Diana's death, things like that. you know where you were or when that happened, and for a lot of people, the Michael Jackson bombshell was one of them. I didn't know about that. I didn't know about it until someone brought it to Iraq and told me that a reporter did. And yeah.
Yeah, but they're like, you're right. It says, like, to be honest, Sean, that sounds nice. Hold on.
What sounds nice?
That's what she said. Like being off, other
Yeah,
than being in Iraq, I suppose being in Iraq.
There was no internet. I mean, internet, so you had some real tech geeky people who had brought their laptops over and were able to get, and by the end of 2003, they had the internet cafes and all that. But for the first, say, 9 or 10 months, we didn't.
That's
so
incredible.
We didn't really know what was going on.
Wow.
Outside in
Thank
the real
you,
world.
Pebs.
Pebs, thanks.
That's a cute little, is that a pear? I love it. Yeah, Jude, I had no idea. Jude said, I left New York City and came from Florida, sold my home and business. I lost 36 friends and have never been back since 9/11. Wow. Hey, just trolling. How are you?
So 9/11, yeah, I remember where I was. But I'll tell you another event. You remember when the Boston bombing, remember that? That was the day that me and my ex-stepson were driving from Rhode Island to North Carolina when that happened.
Oh, really?
So we left that region. We left Rhode Island, which is literally a stone's throw from Massachusetts and Boston. So it was Patriot Day. It's a holiday up there for everybody, but not all over the country, I don't think. And we had pulled pitch from Rhode Island and we're driving down to North Carolina. And when we pulled in that night, they were like, look at the news. And that whole Boston thing had happened. And we really didn't know. I mean, we didn't have satellite radio or anything. We were just chugging along down I-95 and had no idea until we got there.
That's incredible.
Yeah, because that's like a main thing, Look at him.
Tell me that's not the cutest thing ever.
Oh, my God. Jeez.
He's cute.
He's literally laying on his
Yorkshire
back
said, what that happened with Lady Diana, I was at a ladies' dinner night. I was pregnant with my daughter in my apartment. We were getting ready to PCS to England. That reminds me, and this is not because you're in here just trolling. This is something that I wanted to clarify, and Sean may or may not agree with me doing it, but we have discussed it. People, and those of you who are good with her, don't say anything. You don't have to address it. But people were confused what happened with Khaki. Khaki got upset with Paula over full name and who it belonged to. I don't care who it belongs to. Sean doesn't care. I don't care if it turned out it was, any of these. I don't care about that. But Khaki started going after Paula for about a week on Twitter. When that wasn't enough and she came into our live stream and we wouldn't let her divert it and wouldn't let her attack people in it, and she wasn't making a lot of sense, she decided to dox Sean's mother on Twitter. And not only did she put up the picture and the name, she didn't take it down the next day. So not the next day. So even if there was some sort of component to it where she was altered and decided it was a good idea to do that, that's the case, and then continued to go on it. So some people are like asking, why were people cruel to Khaki? Why did Khaki get doxxed? Why did that is what happened with her.
She didn't get doxxed.
Well, she's saying that, she's saying the name that was put out there wasn't her. That doesn't even matter. Before any of that happened, that's what had happened. And I don't expect you guys to, take a stand on that. You certainly don't have to. But when she goes out saying, this, and this is this event that somehow everybody was big and mean and Paula did this and that is where that came from. Yeah. She put his okay.
And the thing about it is, as Mandy is saying it, it was, when that happened, I literally went in there and said, why are you doing this? This is about, because really it was nothing to me. I'd been doxxed. It's this or that. It was just happened to be by somebody that is kind of.
Was unexpected.
But it's really, when you talk about our circle, our small circle, it really sort of, everybody had all these different opinions about how to handle it. And really, nothing really had to come of it because the most of y'all that are in the chat, there's 70 some in there. The mass majority of y'all had no idea that
And
it even
that's why
happened.
Sean disagrees with bringing it, you know, that's where we have a difference
I respect
sometimes.
it. I respect it being mentioned, but it wasn't like a lot of the YouTubers, whenever, you know, they speak out against doxing, and so do we, but then when they get doxed, they move it to be the issue, the name of their stream or whatever. And I've always said you're such a hypocrite if you do that.
And
you know?
when she put the picture out there and the Google screenshot, she said it wasn't doxing because it was only a Google search away that you can find it, whether you agree with that or not. It was, and the strange comment was how would this woman feel knowing that her daughter-in-law taunts and torments Trisha? First of all, that's been said by 1,000 different people.
1 million people.
She's even being contacted.
Not really.
Don't worry about it.
About 20.
But second of all, this coming from Khaki, taunting and teasing, like she literally goes in there.
She's one of the good ones at that.
Yeah,
though.
and so
you know,
it didn't have to be that way. She didn't have to do that. And when she thought better of it, and she apparently never did. So I'm gonna leave it at that. But just so you guys know, that's what happened with her.
Yeah,
that's what happened. So. The catfishing thing, I don't know what she's talking about. I have no idea about any of that I don't go on Twitter. Sean can tell you, I don't go on Twitter. I just know what happened leading up to it and what happened after that. There was a big discussion. She was on Twitter trying to say that this troll, just trolling, was Paula. And that it wasn't her. First of all, so basically saying because Sean was thinking that he might know who Just Trolling was, and it may be someone close to him, that somehow if he knew that it really was Paula or Khaki or Karen or whoever it was, that he would somehow be devastated, and that's how it turned into some sort of issue. He doesn't give a shit.
No, I don't.
He doesn't care. Karen.
But the other thing is that, but for whatever reason, it bothered Khaki, and that's okay too. You know, people get bothered by some of this stuff that goes on here. First of all, I'll say this: I hope Khaki's fine wherever she is. I do. But it was just I tried to handle being doxxed like I always do, which is it doesn't matter.
No.
Just let it go.
And he was right. Know? You're about the 100th person to say that I'm a dirty, mean daughter.
or dox me.
Right.
It's like if somebody puts our address in here, it goes, real gotcha moment. It isn't. It's not.
Yeah. So
and you shouldn't use it as a gotcha moment is the second thing.
And this just trolling is not the just trolling that came in and thought that Sean thought that they knew. Nobody gives a shit. It's not that serious. So anyway, I'm going to let that go because I know there's people who have, but that's the whole, as far as our part in it, that's where it begins and ends, is that she got upset and she doxed his mom for whatever fucking reason. I don't know. So,
yeah.
For the 100th time.
Like I was saying, that the people that are close to us or talk to us that are friends with her continue to be friends with her, but that we just were like, this is what happened, and it's whatever.
I want to go to a crawfish boil in Texas this weekend. Heck yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, it's okay. It's whatever. I mean, and I would even go to the point if Khaki slipped into my DMs and said, "Hey," what I would be like, "Hey, really?" It'd be like,
and
that's
that's
the end of
Sean's
it.
Take on it.
That's my take of it. Is like bygones certainly can be bygones. They for sure can be.
And then we differ because my take on it is she better never bring her ass in here
right.
again.
See, that's the thing. That's kind of been. So there you go. Sean and Mandy do not always agree 100. Even back in the early days, there were things that I wanted to do with the channel that she wanted to do, vice versa.
There's sometimes we're bouncing things off of each other for the stream at night. He goes, and I'm going to say to them, like, "How the fuck you're not going to say that?" And he's or he'll say the same thing.
She'll say, "Sean, this is what we're going to do with the channel."
You're not going to say that.
She's going off about, this is what we're going to do, A, B, and C, and I'll just go, stop.
Sean's is exactly in one sense. If one person says on their stream that has, let's say, 60 people watching it, and they say, so-and-so's daughter is and tells the name, right? And that's shocking. They doxed. So there's 60 people right there that watched it. When the person, let's say that the person finds out of it and goes on their thing and there's 150 people watching and they say, so-and-so doxed my daughter on this and this stream. Okay, so now 150 more people know.
Right, that didn't
Whereas
know.
nobody probably would have known.
We're not big enough YouTubers that it's like, it's not going to show up on TMZ.
Randy, you take note, Randy, when people say horrible things or you think that they're saying horrible, don't keep perpetuating it, especially when nobody knew.
Well, and the other thing
unless it's content.
That's the first thing for her because she'll use it for, and the other thing is she really doesn't think that outside of her echo chamber that people aren't going, she's a noodle.
Yeah.
Because they are. And it doesn't matter that people are. She's got her channel. She's got her people in her channel. And they do and they say whatever it is they want to do and say.
Hey, Loretta.
I mean, it doesn't matter if I sit there and say, hey, do you know that everybody else thinks that you're fickle and that you go wherever? And it doesn't matter that I tell her that everybody else thinks that.
Right.
This doesn't matter.
He's got a good point because people get all torn up about what's said in certain things, and then they perpetuate it themselves. Well, see, Melissa's going to go to do some serious yard work with the backhoe. That sounds dirty with the backhoe. So I thought some mud bugs would keep the guys happy. For your chickens. What do I do for our chickens? For the worms.
Oh yeah. Okay. So imagine you've got to do this for the members only channel. You will see a camera and it'll be on a rock and you will see these beautifully manicured hands with sparkling pink nails. Well, there's one on now. Lift that rock up and with the other hand, just dig straight into the mud and move it all around and pull 3 or 4 worms straight out of the mud. And
sometimes with a stick.
Sometimes with a stick.
But then when I pull it out, and y'all like, I know some people get really grossed out by earthworms, so don't listen. And that I love just pulling them straight out of the soil. You just pull them straight out, and then the chickens come.
It's intriguing at first because I'm like, look at your, and I'm like, that is maybe the sexiest thing I've ever seen. And then on the other hand, it better not be a snake. Yesterday, she's around on the other side of that house. One of our Orpingtons comes trotting up with a snake hanging out of its mouth. And I'm like, you better take that snake and you better walk that way. Because if this one sees you with the snake,
if you come my way,
it's going to be, it's all over. We may not have chickens anymore. And the chicken kind of was like, ran off down in the woods with the snake.
I am a girl. And what's funny, Loretta, is I wasn't like born that way. Like, seen Brand Grubby, it's a family-owned business, makes good food. Oh, cool. No, I haven't, but I'm definitely going to check that out. It's turned into a thing like that. And I never would have thought that I would have been, but...
When I got the job, first got hired at the post office and started working, I had worked all through that year before we got the big chicken coop. We got the chicken coop in November. And I just really didn't, the whole time I was like, I want to get chickens. We got this place, blah, blah, blah. Chickens out in the country, blah, 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 blah. I really didn't think that we would be able to do it simply because I thought that was going to be my thing. Even when Mandy went out and surprised me with buying the chicken coop, I was like, oh, it was like probably the nicest gift that I'd ever gotten, really from somebody. And it sat there for another 3 or 4 months, and I just couldn't figure out how we were going to make it work. This one took the lead. She's the one that went and we found the chickens to put in it. She is the one that, rigged it all up. You can put a chicken coop out there, but it's not like predator proof. You've got to put a run around it, which we bought. One of these days, we should have put that. I tried to put the run up, and I'm a fail at it.
Because he was mad at me. So he went out to prove a point.
Blow off steam.
For about 3 hours. Trying to put it together.
She thought...
I thought he'd gone walking, which he does. Yeah. He's done before.
You guys remember, Karen, remember when I walked in the 110-degree Texas heat? Remember that?
Melissa, that's hilarious, by the way. Go ahead.
And anyway, so as far as building the run, building the cage around it, building the fence, we bought a second coop, building the platforms to put the second coop on. It's all this one. And I'm telling you, every man, if any man or any athlete or any performer stands up and gets an award, they thank their wife. It's the same thing. I'm like, these chickens would not have happened without this one. And it's so true, man. It's like, there's no way. And she embraces it. Because while I was working at all those hours, she's out there maintaining the coop. She's watching all this chicken shit out. Full grown chickens are messy. And, it's just like having cats, 3 or 4 cats. If you don't take care of the cat box, if you don't take care of things, you will have hair and your whole house will smell like cat, correct?
Yeah.
If you take care of it,
Ellie,
you won't.
hey.
So all this chicken stuff really is because of her. And she set the standard where I could work all those hours and I could come home and spend some time on something else that I love to do before I spent the rest of my day on the other one I like to do.
And it finally got to the point where we're at a maintenance point now. Let's work on our channels for different whatever, but we've got what we need. We've got, it's time for him to enjoy it. SARS, you like chickens?
I'm telling you, SARS, hang out, because
Melissa was talking about they had to switch to worms because she had a cousin who would eat the live minnows when they went fishing.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious. But, my son is in the military. He's come a long way. But, young soldiers, they do like to drink, especially when they have their gatherings and they rent places like hotels. They'll rent the ballroom for the army will rent it for the. Well, the one place they were told that they couldn't come back because, and I don't know if he was part of it, but they were eating the fish out of the fish tank. I don't mean off the buffet. I mean, they were eating it out of the fish tank.
These are soldiers, so just give them a break for that.
They were told that they couldn't come back. And I was like, Sean, how would you handle that when I was the commander, when you were a commander? He's like, well, I guess I would say, guys.
It wouldn't be like, when you guys hear this, like, they're eating fucking fish. For me, it's like, so they're out there, they're eating fish. I'd be like, how many do we have to replace?
Right.
It's
and
like, how many fish do we have to replace?
So he was like, and then the next one, you make sure to say, you guys, you wouldn't think you have to say this, but I'm going to go ahead and say this. Don't eat anything that's alive that is inside this facility. These nice people are letting us celebrate.
You have to bring a bunch of combat arms guys around. It's probably like that. Ellie Wonder's here. Hey, Ellie, another one that we said, Ellie, we decided to start doing some of these stuff in the afternoon here because a lot of people overseas were saying we just can't catch a live stream at 3 a.m. So thank you for being here. Another
reason that we were like, let's switch gears in what we're doing and catch some of the, I am too, I catch and release. There is this beautiful cat that right now a family member has, and it's not going to go anywhere. Everybody loves the cat, but it is literally a Turkish Angora.
All white. You guys know what we're talking about?
Beautiful eyes.
Beautiful.
We might have posted a picture on it before. So people, how with our family, if something's going to need a home, it's going to find a good home, like even amongst us. But this cat is beautiful. And what were we talking about that brought that up? That I said, the catch and release. I was like, if it needs a home, fish, I'm going to take that beautiful cat and I'll find it a home if I need to. And Sean's like, Mandy. No, I think Melissa, Ellie is kind of a barn cat. Her and her black cat friend peruse the area. The black cat will actually get the mice and stuff. Ellie's not into that, but she hangs with them.
We're not talking about Ellie in the chat.
How funny is that?
We have a calico named Ellie, Elanor actually, but
that's so funny.
She's got a couple of names. So because her name is Elanor, but so we call her Ellie, or the Beatles song, Eleanor Rigsby. So sometimes we just call her Rigsby, but that's
we
our
have
cat.
A lot of animals. And what's incredible is all of the people that hang out in our chat are pretty much like us.
Yeah.
They have to limit how many animals they take in.
Content creators in the drama community are all kind of the same in the sense that we are every single one of us has a little bit something wrong with us.
We've always said that. We would not be hanging out in this community if we were 100%.
I mean, when you take that to like outside family members or other friends, they kind of lean in at what we're doing and go, oh, Okay.
They're
That's why
like,
Andy fits in so well. My cousin fits in so well here because
because they
he's
don't,
like us.
most people are like, they don't get it, and they're like, why are these people calling me from your YouTube thing? Why do they think I care? And I'm like,
That's right.
they
Going back
they
to the
want to tell
doxing
you
thing.
how big and bad we are.
Mm-hmm.
We're not, we're pretty harmless.
It's like one of those things like, hello, Mrs. Such and Such. Yes. Do you know that your son-in-law and your daughter do this? And they're like, we know.
Oh,
Yeah,
right. They're
it's
like, yeah, we wish they
yeah,
wouldn't.
well, I mean, it's whatever, but
Oh, I start crying when someone baits a hook and I have to total meltdown if I catch one. I throw the pole and usually I'm not invited to go fishing again. See, that's what it's like. That's like our group. We've got big hearts and different interests, and they're talking about living in the country life. You did the Teemu for chicken toys.
well,
Now it's gonna
those of
come
you
up
that are
all over our.
those of you that are tuning in that didn't know that I worked for the post office, which is everybody, Teemu has kind of taken over.
Hey,
I mean, it's when just here in this town, the Teemu orders just in our post office is significant.
and they
It's
do
in
you
the
know that
hundreds.
they never ever come in a box.
No, they just
Never,
so
never,
what
never.
Teemu does is they whatever you order, they throw it, they take
And then they
the
just-
paper and they
It's
lay it out
plastic
like
wrap, right?
yeah, and then they just wrap all up and tape it all up.
And pink.
Something like that, or orange or something like that.
Hey, Paula. Paula, I showed in the beginning all of the awesome things. I love it. I showed it at the beginning.
Yes. It showed Amazon
Karen, I
showed up.
showed your pearls. I always bring the pearls out and show the pearls. And I need to show the bracelet too that Loretta. That
Yeah,
both we
it's
got.
way too cheap. Melissa says suspicious. So I've seen a lot of returns. So it's kind of hit and miss. I have one family member that has a new outfit. They went on a vacation and their 3 small children. They had matching outfits for every day of their vacation, and they came from Teemu. From what I understand, the clothing and the shoes and footwear is pretty decent. It can be hit and miss, but the electronic stuff is very spotty.
And I heard that exactly the origins of how it started and where it came from are suspect at best. That they think it's some sort of spy program that the Chinese have because it's just such cheap crap. But when you order it, they're able to like steal your information, which doesn't really make any sense because why would anybody? The Chinese don't need to steal anybody's information.
Teemu is legit because say Sheen or Shine or whatever it was.
Dublin, okay.
They have legit return services. Like we have return services, not just like if you don't like something you bought from me on eBay, you can send it back to me. These companies have a whole service. It's a whole zip code that's dedicated to their returns. And it's dubious information that I'll carry around for the rest of my life that I'll never need to know unless I go back into the postal service again. But
I do believe that. Go ahead.
You've got other drop shippers that they're from China and they drop ship. You know, like if you order something from their Amazon site or whatever, it'll come to you, and if you don't like it, you have to send it back to China. And so people would come in with this big long address that isn't even in with English letters. We have to try to distinguish as to type it out. It's just cheaper to keep the shit that you got.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Right.
You have those. What I normally tell people is where did you order it from? Send it directly back to that place from New Jersey or where it was.
And it's easier to refuse it than to mail it back.
It's easier to, yeah. Just if you can make it look like you didn't open it, you can refuse it. Once
really?
it looks like it's opened, you can't refuse it.
The little things nobody knows. I didn't know that.
Yep. So there's a lot of useless stuff that I learned in my 3 years working for the Postal Service that I feel a little bit safer when Mandy orders her stuff from Amazon now. There it is.
There you go. You're right. It says Melissa says that she's weird. She just buys from small boutiques and local farms. I hear you. That's popular here too. A lot of people with they all come torn up. So no, Sheen is also Sheen's point, because I watched something on it, is supposed to be the latest fashion, but it's cheap so that it's disposable. Like you may wear it once or twice and then it's not going to be in next season, so throw it away. It's made. I'm like, I'm gonna throw away clothes.
I know.
You know what I
just
mean?
re-gift it. And that's what you tell people when they come in with a sweater that didn't, they're like, I need to send this back to China. China. And they're like, yeah. And they're pretty adamant about it. And they might be a little pissed off. And I was like, well, it's $60 to send it back to China. Well, I only paid $30 for it. There you go. So
Ellie,
you want to be out $90, just gift that to somebody in a
exactly. Ellie says that Willem says the same thing about when that it's run by the Chinese and they're stealing our information. I guarantee you I do not have the app installed, but I promise after talking about it like this, I'm going to have a notification come through my phone and it's going to be something about Teemu.
I have the app on my phone.
Down.
I have the app on my phone for Teemu. Don't even know how it got there.
Yeah.
Like I did something and installed the app.
See, it's weird.
But, yep.
I've never ordered from there, but
some people swear by it.
They literally have everything.
There's this one dude, and he's from New York that's retired down here, and he's not much older than me. But you know the New York style he's got the white, like Welcome Back Kotter. Do y'all remember that? He's got like this white perm that goes all the way down his white hair because he's older, and he wears tank tops, and he comes in and he's got a Long Island accent and he swears by it. He says, oh, I'm retired, I just order shit from there, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah. And then you have party favor gifts for the newer phones have Teemu pre-installed, right?
See,
and then,
there you go.
And Karen says, I'm one of those that buys new, wear them until my old clothes are falling off me, so they sit in my closet. Yeah,
Mandy throws mine out, so
he's convinced himself that I throw away clothes of his that I don't like.
I believe her.
Well, when it started, I was like, Sean, you're like, why have these tie-dye shirts? I'm like, Sean, you literally made it out of hell with a Mustang. What you could put in your it wasn't there.
That's kind of true.
Oh, and that was the thing earlier, too, when people were saying about the chickens and stuff. I told Sean when we got together, I was like, we're going to replace everything that has been, discarded of yours.
I had it on top messages.
Anything.
It's on all messages now.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
So people probably think we're
people
ignoring
said stuff
them.
like 15 minutes ago, and
so we did the baseball cards. We replaced those.
We should
your chickens.
I should at some point.
Your jerseys,
all that. It's all on the members only stuff. Mandy's going around. You guys that watched the last one, getting better at it, right? Little glimpses in our life and this and that, and then a little anecdote from ATX. We should do one this week that just shows my room. Shows my I'm a little bit embarrassed by it because I have not kept up with the sorting and the
but you have forever.
But I have apps that I've got everything kind of cataloged. Mandy was impressed at the value of what my collection was.
He has an app, Loretta, right? Usually Sarah reminds us that to do live chat instead of Top Chat. He has this app where he can enter it finds the card. He takes a picture of it. It finds a card. And depending on how it's graded, the condition or whatever, it gives it an approximate value. And it builds a database in this app with it running total.
So if I put in something like 2018 Mike Trout Bowman's Best refractor card.
You can show it on your little thing.
Yeah,
and you ladies tell me that you.
So when I put the card in there, it will tell me all the sales and purchases of that card. It's that one.
This one? Okay. Yeah. I can show it. It's not like... So, where's your main page?
Right there.
Look at this, you guys.
That's about probably 10% of my collection that I've just taken the time to put in there. And so it'll say something like, I'll pick a card. Here's...
Where's Chicklets? Chicklets isn't here to remind us no sports.
So this is the Max Fried. That one hasn't. I'll find one that's
anyway, but that's the running total of the cards. I won't let him sell them because he used to be told that he needed to sell cards for hoarding purposes, so someone could get 4 broken rice cookers or something, and he was told to sell cards. God. So I have this strict thing that he can't sell one unless it's worth over $1,000, and thus far he hasn't come to us, hasn't come to me with one, right? So that's it.
There's one thing. There's one. I'm sorry, I interrupted.
No, you didn't.
one thing that Mandy and I have agreed that she will let me sell the collection for, and that's for fertility treatment.
Yeah.
For that. I would give it up 10 times over for that.
Yeah. And that's in the members only too. I'm not trying to plug, whatever. But,
Yes, we are.
Well, no, but I went and explained kind of where we're at with that and shit
Let me
like
see
that.
if I can find the.
Which one?
I'm going to find, let's say.
Oh, and in the divorce paperwork that got filed it said that he had, what was it, a Babe Ruth 1 of 1 or something?
Yeah, I would.
And you were like, if I did have a Babe Ruth 1 of 1, your stupid ass threw it away.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't matter that it was
You took it to a frickin'. Let's see what I can
1 of 1 would mean like literally they only made 1. I didn't know these things until he and I like got together.
So this is like a Shohei Ohtani 2018. It'll have like, I've got 6 of those. So the market value, how, if you grade it, what the grade would get, how many listings are there, things like that for each card, which is
Pretty
really, there's 3 or 4 good ones that you can do that. But, collecting cards, people always say it's an investment. It's not a freaking investment. It's like gamble. Like when you go out and buy a pack of sports cards, it's like buying a scratch off. You don't know what's going to be in there.
Right.
Now you can take a card that's worth some money and protect it, get it graded, and add to the value. But to sit there and say, in order to be a real investment, you'd be scouring eBay and all these different sites and buying specific cards at a specific target price because you think that they're going to go up. And I could probably do that, but it's much funner just to go to Walmart and buy a couple packs or couple blaster boxes, just open and see what you get.
Right.
So
Andy says, lyrics completed. Check them out and see what you think. Off to the park with my boy. We're working on a little song.
Yes.
A little fun song that was inspired in the very early hours of the morning. I started humming it in my head. When it's tweaked, you'll see it. You'll think it's right up there with the Sanford and Son trash pile kind of montage stuff. But it's even better. One of those has like 9,000 views or something, or did something like that. I was like, it came to me one day. I was like, what could I do with this? All these pictures of this trash heap, and I was like, the Sanford and Son thing. Yeah, there's a link that says like join or whatever. I think it's under our thing. We try to keep it low, like $6.99, which I'm not by any means saying that that's a trivial amount in today's money. Every penny counts. It is helping us though to start building these channels for like daytime, and
to ask, like, Jude's like, how do you join? I have no idea where the link is. Like, if you're watching,
I think it's on. Karen might be able to put it in. I'm not sure, but it's 1 release a week, if not more right now. And I'm trying to keep it about 20 minutes. I talk a little bit more in depth. We do some of the impromptu things, our fertility journey, such that it is at this point. And,
I think even like 10 to 15, minutes, because of course, I love like watching myself. Mandy will tell you. Mandy does not watch our replays. I watch, and I'm going to tell you, and you guys think I'm being corny.
Thank you.
I watch them to watch her. I do.
Which I think is, shit, that's fucking hot in my opinion.
When we were dating, we would make vlogs for each other and send them unlisted. This one troll account that I have, if I ever messed up and made everything public on it. If I made everything public on it, you'd see all these videos of me blabbing away to ATX.
Mushy gushy.
All the things I'm going to do to make her life complete,
It was true. All of it was true. I did some too, but we can't figure. I know which video channel I used.
I know mine. I know.
Oh, you have one still? Okay.
I still have one.
So, Mama Ricky is here. Everybody make sure you're subscribed to everyone, but Mama Ricky in particular is going to start doing these taste test things. No, you're good, SARS. So make sure you're subbed. She goes live in the mornings. Or sometimes she'll do like a midday one. I need to be better at making sure I get in there to those, but today Sean woke up and said his legs were hurting, and he was in a foul mood because his legs were hurting. when he gets.
And I think I realized why. I mean,
puts when he's. You can tell when he's been up because he doesn't feel good. He'll be sitting there with his hoodie with his hood on with it tied. And I'm like, oh, it was like, what's wrong,
I didn't know
Sean?
you felt that
I'm
way.
like, no, I don't.
No, but it's very, very rare.
It's not common, but I know
but it's very rare that if I am not working, like days that I'm off, that I'm up before her. Like it almost will never happen. She's all, if I'm going to work, I'm up before her. If I'm off, she's up before me. And so I woke up and cause my legs were killing me. And what I think it is, I immediately go out and I start because all I want to do is go back to sleep. You take ibuprofen and do whatever. And then what I think it's because of my back. I think when I sleep
probably is.
In a certain position, it radiates down my legs. You guys remember when you had growing pains and your legs hurt? Remember that when you were a kid and your legs just hurt and they were growing pains? That's what it feels like. But you can't ignore it. You can't sleep it off. You just sit there and when you just keep tossing and turning, and the longer you sit in one position, the worse it hurts. The whole idea is to try to find that simple position where it goes away, and it just doesn't happen.
I know it'll work my way into my dreams because if my legs are bent, they'll start aching. In my dreams, I'm trying to unbend them so they won't hurt anymore, and then I can wake up and unbend them. The other thing, which is funny, and you guys tell me if your significant other, past, present, whatever you've ever had this happen, they'll be like, I didn't sleep at all last night, man. I was up all night. And you're like, every time I went to the bathroom, you were sound asleep. Yeah.
That's what she said.
Sometimes I think that when you think that you got no sleep or whatever, you got more than you thought. Because he'll always go, yeah, I mean, I got maybe 2 hours of sleep. I'm like, no, Sean, I was up. Because I have to take a bunch of pee breaks. I'm like, you were out every single time.
You just woke up 2 hours before you
Thank you, Karen. No, I didn't. I was fine with it. When it's time for the animals to get cracking, I am up. I just don't want you to think that I'm getting up. Let's start the day.
Well,
if you're still ready to sleep, look at
Barry Hot said, "Hi all. I have the same kind of pain. I have a stem implant in my back." I was sitting there reading. I was pretty sure it was my back. Pretty sure that it was just something to do with.
Paula has real bad back pain too. Real bad back pain. I wonder. And I've got someone else who I'm friends with, whose partner has really, really degenerative scoliosis and is shy. Not shy typical shy, but doesn't want to go to a pain clinic because of the connotation and doesn't want to take the opioids. But
thank you, Diamond Girl. She's got to go.
Oh, bye. Have a good day.
Thank you for coming in.
Pain clinics have come a long way. They have things now that that they can do for pain that's not opioid.
Yeah.
If you find a good one, and it's not like it used to be where you can come in and they just they have to try to address it because the laws are so strict.
Well, that's the catch-22 though, because I'm pretty sure I slept a certain way, but because I haven't had that on days I never woke up for work and woke up that way. It'd always be into the morning when I could sleep in. So it never fear. Baby.
You know, when men get these issues that women call sore muscles, for men, these are catastrophic illnesses that you think about. They think that they might need life flight.
It's nothing that a sandwich can fix.
Right, Karen? Karen will laugh at this. I mean, things that, that are just the worst of the worst. You can't just you can't.
There's some things. Well, there's a couple of things that I could think of that would get my mind off it. But she's like,
that's like the man cold. Hey,
stitching.
For men, it's a life-limiting, life-threatening illness. For women, it's called the common cold. Oh, thank you, Hacks Boss. She figured it out. It's called the flock party. Thank you.
Type into the chat how you did it. Because people are like, how do I join? And I don't know.
Yeah. Telfer, you may not review us anymore. I don't know, because nobody watches you. You're so irrelevant that Telfer doesn't even talk about Telfer. But you can laugh at us that we're so inept we can't even figure tell people to join our own channel.
It's
That's good content.
That's good content. I mean, I
said that today. I said Telfer's so irrelevant. Telfer doesn't want to talk about Telfer.
She didn't want to talk about her anymore. I mean, they without saying all kinds of things. That's wherever they are with like the drama, wherever they are with the drama and with however they feel about legal stuff, it is about to pour down on them, and that's all I'm going to say. So when it does happen, you can't say, "Oh, Sean just said that 2 months ago." I'm saying it today. Their life is about to Yaba, and we were talking about that a little bit. We talk about other YouTubers, and it was like, did Yaba realize,
Yorkshire.
when you're really, and I get it, because I was trying to make a relationship work with somebody that I wonder how long did it take Yaba? Probably not yet, because it took me 10 years, where Yaba was like, my life is a fucking mess right now, financially, emotionally, and it's because the common denominator is that one that I said that I loved and I was going to, be with forever. Mm-hmm. I wonder if she has come to that realization. Everybody else has. And if she hasn't, she's going to real soon.
And there's a certain amount of pride that makes someone say,
right.
I'm going to fucking ride this one out because I'm not going to let any of you be right.
And
None of you are going to be right.
And all of a sudden, this gets taken away from you. And then this gets taken away from you. And then this, you don't have this anymore. Or you can't do this. Or these people don't want to be around you anymore. And then at some point, that person who you're trying to dedicate your life to and that you're trying to love has isolated you from anything and everything that is positive and that's going to help you move in positive directions. It's coming.
Yeah, it's coming. And I'm not going to laugh at, maybe
a
little bit.
It isn't funny, though.
People are saying that the join button is not available on iPhones and you have to go under the membership tab. Okay, Karen, I'm going to make that clearer when I get off. Camp says, this was funny, and I will give it some time since Camps went there. It says, I just saw a Suburban with a ratty trailer go past my place in Tennessee. Talking about
I can honestly say this, some of you guys pay closer attention to that.
We were talking about living off the grid.
I don't know what color any of her vehicles or the trail. I don't know any of that.
Right.
So I couldn't corroborate any of those stories.
No, but what I'm saying is the funny part about it is that we were going to be told how to live off the grid.
Yes.
With 3 broken rice makers and an extension cord and a trailer. We were supposed to be taught how we can live a simple life and how we can, the world is our oyster, as they say, right?
Yes.
And we can go different places and make, and then nothing. We have no more direction.
We'll start. There's one piece
no
of
more
advice.
direction.
I cannot live off grid, right? I have spent a lot of my life wearing the uniform and living in the woods. I'm going to say one thing. You don't need 3 fucking broke rice makers to do it. You don't. You don't even need one. But if you really like to make rice, a rice maker is good to have a little one.
Yeah.
One. You don't need 3.
She'll say, I've got 2 Keurigs. I've arrived. I have 2 Keurigs. Neither one of them work, but I've got 2. And I'm like, well, there you go. You've got 2 broken coffee makers. Visiting once again back to the whole, being possibly homeless because once again, he probably didn't renew your lease because your backyard looks like a junkyard and he was tired of people laughing at his property being on social media looking like something that came out of a bad episode of Sanford and Son. But beyond that, you thought it was so funny when Sean stayed in his car.
That's true.
You thought that was hilarious that Sean spent a few days living in his car.
Yeah,
remember
I
how
do
funny
remember that.
It was?
And that's what was meant when people were like,
and you've been through 4 houses since then? B3, 4? How many have kicked you out?
This? People were like, how do you feel about this?
Bye, Ellie. Have a good night.
I don't. See you later, Ellie. Thank you. When they're like, how do you feel about that? I don't watch it. I said, but how do you feel about it? I said, well, how did I feel when I was living in my fucking car? And, someone else was yeeing and yawing about it. It's whatever. I mean, karma, the true essence of karma is the following lifetime. But if there was karma in the same lifetime, this is it. This is it.
I was watching something yesterday on YouTube that was talking about why sometimes mental illness, especially untreated mental illness, starts to take on physical maladies in your body. And it's studied at an asylum in France, and it followed people as their mental illness progressed, and where it took them. And it becomes a physical malady, especially the ones that would refuse to take their medicine. It did things to their muscles and different parts of their body if they refused to take their medicines, that eventually manifested itself in a very haggard, old, troll-like appearance. So, take that for what it was. If you want to look like a troll with, well, I'm not going to say that.
It's almost like substance abuse when you see
Right.
somebody that is addicted to substance abuse, because I see the pictures. It's like, this is bad for you. This is, that it's killing you. That you look bad because of it, but you still do it. It's like that only in that sense. When you are suffering from a mental situation, you don't understand that.
Exactly. If she took the right meds, she would sleep. That is the biggest problem right now, is she's not sleeping. And you can't reverse that easily. You can't get back what you haven't lost. Like you can't get back what you've lost as far as when it starts to physically manifest. You can't get, you have to have surgery if you're that vain and that narcissistic.
And I think from what I understand that, her fiscal, impulses as well. I get that, but if you know what I'm saying, you can only lie so many times to the people that are giving to you, and take the money that they give you and the resources they give you, and whatever the opportunities that they give you, and blatantly do other things, and then come on and do a live stream about the other thing.
I'm not going to say that full name out loud again, but Sean knows.
I know these people.
And the fact that she keeps running back to use and abuse this woman for resources, for a place to stay.
You're not going to meet, as far as a couple of people that are going to
want to see the good.
Good-hearted people that just want to see you improve. We're talking about I have explained to Mandy. I don't know if she's explained it to any of y'all, but I have sat there and said, I know these people. I have spent time with those people. I have broke bread. I remember, back in my YouTube channel years ago, he gave us a whole leg of lamb, or a whole leg of like a pig leg.
Yeah.
Just gave it to us because he had to get rid of it because he didn't want it. And it was probably like 6 or 7 pounds. This is MM's husband. He didn't know me. He didn't know me, but he knew that I would take it. And anyway, it is the last refuge and the last vestige of humanity that she's at. These people are the last good people that are still available, that she has done whatever over and over and over again.
Probably took Lulu. And if that is the case, if they took ownership of Lulu.
When Dr. Phil happened, and you guys remember when she left and was in the car, and then she ended up at the farm. This is the same people. So this is years ago. That was 2017. So this is 7 years later. Still using this family, still getting resources. And I could not even see them react meanly. I could not.
All they wanted, they had asked her not to live stream on their property.
She couldn't even honor that.
She couldn't. So shame on you for misusing that. But I can say that from what Sean has told me, if that is where Lulu is,
someone said bad audio.
Yeah, I don't know. I was waiting to see.
Okay.
We know we know who she is. So if it's the case, then she's not. She's helping us out instead of derailing. Like, so some people come and go, oh, buffering. And people go, oh God, and then they start shutting it down, and it's like, that's a boy.
Couple people have said. I'm just gonna ask.
Is it?
No, I'm gonna just put it in there.
Mine.
Well,
Cutting
we'll just
up.
kind of sit through it for a minute, I guess. My end is burring and cutting out.
Burring. What is burring?
That must be some kind
Maybe
of.
I need to blow some dust out.
Maybe that's burring. I think she meant blurring. It's probably up good on this end and fine, good for me. So I guess we're coming back.
Well, the Kinetic people have been there the last.
Oh, there's a guy. There's an internet
It's
guy
fine.
right across the street.
Look at
trying
that
to
handsome Maine
hook up the
Coon.
neighbors.
Look at my handsome Maine Coon. He's not a Maine Coon, but he looks like a Maine Coon. Y'all don't even know how much we love these animals. Okay. I was the other topic of while we're on the homeless topic, because it's buffering. It's probably a good time to shut it down.
Better now, buffering.
We love you guys.
Yay. Hey. I'm going to type it in real quick. Thank you.
We do. Thank you for being here. Thank you for everything. Members, mods, everything. And we're working on a song. Andy is going to help us get it done, and it's going to win an award.
Thank you, Wax Boss, for joining the flock party.
Yes, I know, Karen. Anyway, we'll see you next time. I'm glad you liked the earlier streams. We're going to toss it around a little bit. Have a good night, everybody.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.